All right, welcome back to one of my all-time favorite draft sets, particularly of those released on Arena, Zendikar Rising. This came out in 2021, if I'm not mistaken, and I was sort of like doing COVID school and all that. Instead of doing that, actually, what I did was just draft the bejesus out of this set. I have a full set completion. And to those not in the know, you might think, oh, Mythic Rare Planeswalker, that's got to be the pickup. But unfortunately, Nahiri, if I recall, doesn't really work that well. There's just not enough equipment to support her equipment theme. And the real Mythic Rare in the pack is Soaring Thought Thief. This card is beyond messed up. It's blue-black for a 1/3 flash flying. If your opponent has 8 or more cards, all your rogues get +1/+0. And this guy counts, so he's a 2/3 flyer. And whenever one or more rogues you control attacks, each opponent mills 2 cards. It's like a double win condition because it can kill them with damage, kill them by milling them out. The rogue deck is pretty strong, and this is the best deck or best card in the rogue deck as well. So second pick here, we have a few options. The cool thing introduced in the set was the multi-dual faced cards, or modal dual faced cards, what they're called, MDFCs. They're lands and spells, and they're really powerful. This is one of the like mediocre ones, but even the mediocre ones are like pretty high picks. For us, I do like Expedition Skulker in the rogue deck as just a filler 2/2. Has Death Touch. Anti-Cognition is also the classic 2 mana counter unless they pay 2 with set mechanic. But you know, if you have 8 or more cards, this is actually just like really good counter. So it is good with Thought Thief. Windrobber is pretty decent. It's just a 1/1 flyer to enable your Thought Thief. Between the Windrobber, the Skulker, and the Cognition, I think I'm going to take the 1-drop. It's just really tempting to curve that into this and just get that going. Okay, this pack has a few good cards. Remember, Lulmage's Domination is a pretty good card. It looks on the surface like kind of uncastable blue X and gain control of target creature with mana value X. But if you're doing the 8 or more cards in the graveyard, which is the rogue theme, it's actually pretty cheap to cast. I think so. 3 less. So yeah. For blue, you can take a 3-drop. And control magic is just normally an insane effect in limited because not only do you remove their creature, but you get it. So it's a 2-for-1 with a ton of tempo involved too. None of the other cards are that great. Cunning Geyser Mage is decent. 3 mana 3/2. If you pay an extra 3, you can bounce something. It's also a wizard. So the main theme in this set is that you have like these adventuring parties where you have different types: cleric, warrior, wizard, rogue, if I recall. And by comboing them, you can get additional bonuses. Let's try to see if I see a card. Or a Seagate Colossus is a good example. Spell costs 1 less to cast for each creature in your party. Your party consists of cleric, rogue, warrior, and wizard. So if you have one of each out, you can play this as a 3 mana 7/5. Of course, that's a little easier said than done. Now there's the Predation, which I remember being one of the weaker lands, but it's still fine. It's like Inquisition of Kozilek / a land, but it does cost 3 mana. I think I'll just take another Domination. We can really get this 8 or more card theme going. These Dominations are going to be great. These are like win conditions, and we're pretty well set up to enable them. So let's try that. Okay, now there's Into the Royal. I also like Expedition Diviner as a 4 mana 3/2 flyer. And if you have another wizard, when it dies, you draw a card, which is pretty strong. But Into the Royal is one of the best commons in the set. 2 mana bounce something, but for 2 extra mana, you also draw a card. There's also Mind Drain. This card is, you know, classic Mind Drop plus a little bit of value, but it's actually pretty good in this set because they have to mill a card, which helps you fill up their graveyard. And also the lose 1 life, gain 1 life is really good with the Cleric theme, which is the black-white deck, because that cares all about life gain, life drain. I know, very creative wizards, black-white. But yeah, Into the Royal, great here. Okay, let's see if I can remember what these cards do. Tazim Royal Mage, I remember being decent. It is a wizard, so it can, if you have some party synergy, it works well with rogues. So 2 mana 2/1, and then kicker for 4, you can put a instant or sorcery back. So we could start looping Lulmage's Domination, which would be pretty strong. Demon's Disciples, this sort of classic like edict effect on a creature. I don't think this was that great. Drana Silencer is okay. 6 mana 3/2. ETB, target creature gets -X, where X is the number of creatures in your party. The problem is it is a rogue, so you don't want it in the rogue deck because it's not going to count for extra party. Like if you have this in, say, a black-white cleric deck, it's probably always going to do at least -2/-2, because it'll check a cleric that you have in play, and then plus a rogue that it counts for itself. So here, Relic Golem, I remember being okay. 3-mana 6/6, which sounds good, but it can't attack or block unless an opponent has 8 or more cards in their graveyard. And then it also is a millstone. You can pay 2 and tap it to make someone mill 2. So it's kind of that double-faced win condition where it can just kill them as a 6/6, but you can also mill them out with it. Stonework Pack Beast is decent in the set. It's a mana filterer at a pretty expensive rate, but it counts as one of any type of party. So it enables some synergies that would otherwise you wouldn't want to play it if you weren't enabling party synergy. So Glacial Grasp stuns something. This is actually pre-stun counter, so they just have the tap target creature. It doesn't untap during its control next untap step. But also makes them mill 2 cards, and then you draw a card. So that's not bad. Anti-Cognition is also a good option. If they have the 8 or more cards, it's just a hard counter. I think I'll try the Anti-Cognition. Skitter Sneak is a pretty filler rogue, but it's fine too. We're like kind of close to mono blue right now. So we have a few options for expanding our party, with the Cascade Seer being a wizard that cares about party, and then Blight Priestess, just a decent cleric. You can see here the life gain, life drain theme. Duelist is pretty decent though, a little 1-mana 1/1 flash. You give something -2/-0, and then you also make the mill 2. So I think we want to enable that theme as much as we can. I'm going to go all in. Take another Anti-Cognition here. Spell Shield is just like a bad version of Shore Up. If I recall, yeah, you have to like pay 2 mana to give it hexproof. Not great. Deliberate is filler, but maybe. Geyser Mage Wield. Okay, this card's pretty decent. Also, one of the best uncommons in the set is a blue enchantment. I can't remember the name of it, but it pays you off for doing the kicker thing. So if we open that, we'll be well set up for it. The Merfolk Falconer, though, is also a pretty good kicker payoff. Whenever you cast a kick spell, scry 2. It's also just a 4/4 flyer. Malakir Rebirth is fine as one of the spell lands. I think it's on the weaker end, but again, they're always good. Vanquish the Weak is kind of filler removal. We'll continue with our sick mono blue deck. Okay, here, a lot of good cleric cards. I remember this card was amazing in the clerics deck. For us, Feed the Swarm is an okay removal spell. You can destroy a creature, and then you lose life equal to that permanent's mana value. The life loss is pretty real, though 2 mana kill anything can be decent. Might just take the Mind Drain, actually. I just want to, as many ways as I can, to enable all our 8 or more card synergies. Ooh, okay. I do remember that Linvala is pretty decent. 3-mana 3/3 flyer. If you have a full party, you choose something they control and it can't attack or block, and you can sack Linvala to give hexproof or indestructible until end of turn. Actually, this reads a lot closer to a 3/3 flyer for 3, which is still good, but probably not worth splashing. I do remember Bubble Snare being pretty close to Swords of Plowshares. 1 mana, enchant a creature, and then if it's kicked, you tap it. Otherwise, or just in general, it doesn't untap. So yeah, if you put this on an a tapped creature, then it is 1 mana kill it, sort of. If you squint. Sky Dancer is pretty decent. I might take the Sky Dancer. 3-mana 2/1 flash flying, and you mill them for 2. So we're continuing on our theme here. Chilling Trap. This card was good in the Wizard deck. -4/-0, and if you control a Wizard, draw a card. Very similar to the card from OTJ, which did this, but it cared about an outlaw, basically. I think this is a cleric card, yep. Whenever you gain life, it gets a counter. Do I want 3 Anti-Cognition? That might be too many, but the Skitter Sneak is so medium. Even if you have it enabled, it's just a 4/4 menace, which is like not some crazy payoff. Whereas like 2 mana counter a spell scry 2. That is actually, I mean, this would be insanely broken in every format, whereas this would be unplayable outside of limited. if they were always turned on. So I think I'm going to take the better card. Ooh, this card is good. The Black Bloom Rogue. It's a 3-mana 2/3 menace that if you're doing the thing is a 5/3 menace, but it's also a land. So that is pretty amazing. Crawling Barrens is a good win condition. Colorless land, and you can pay 4 to put 2 counters on it and turn it into a creature. So in the late game, this can, if you need a mana sink, this can do that thing. But I think Black Bloom Rogue is perfect. Now we have the option between another spell land. This one, I think, plays a little better than it looks. 6 mana drain for 4 seems terrible. You got to remember, a lot of times it's a land, and sometimes it wins you the game, which you can't say that about most lands. So I'll take that. Vanquish the Weak. It's fine. It's just such filler removal. I don't have that much removal, but, I got 3 counter spells. I can hopefully rely on those or open some better removal. That's the other plan. Oh, this is one of the better removal spells. Deadly Alliance. 5 mana to destroy a creature planeswalker isn't great, but it costs 1 less for each creature in your party. So if you have a full party, this is 1 black, destroy a creature. If you have any creature out, like any rogue, this is 4 mana, which is fine. But, usually you can manage to piece together like a rogue and like a wizard, and then 3 mana, kill a creature you're pretty happy with. So I'm going to take that over the second Into the Royal. We get past another Into the Royal. People not respecting how good this card was. Yes, I don't think this does. Like, you can charge it up and then eventually cast your kicker spells. I don't think that's worth putting a colorless land in your deck for. Take another one of these guys. Take another Geyser Mage. We're definitely going to have enough playables. Already at 20. Take a Royal Mage. Well, I could take... It is a little hard to get Clerics. Well, I guess black has plenty of Clerics. This is pretty medium. I'm going to take the better card. There's always one creature type that's hard to get for your party. So for blue-black, it's actually Warriors. There's just very few Warriors in blue and black. Because it's a tertiary or worse effect for these colors. Let's see, Chilling Trap. I have a decent amount of Wizard. I'll take the Skitter Sneak, whatever. The Squid. Yeah, there's also Landfall in this set. I think the Landfall ended up being a little weak. I think Green-Red Landfall's decent, but most of the Landfall cards aren't that amazing in this set. I think the party stuff really hits, though. This pack is kind of a blank. There's a Silencer, a Duelist, Deliberate. I don't really want any of this. Best card's probably this Cleric. This guy's also decent. He's good in the Landfall deck. Oh, I guess he's just good aggressive. He's good in the Warrior deck, too. But we're not playing red, so it's not for us. I think I'll take a Zulaport Duelist. Really not what I want to first pick, but it's fine. This pack's also pretty mid. And here I'll take a Vanquish the Weak. Thundering Rebuke is really good. Just 2 mana, deal 4. Very solid. And here he's binding. A little, Oblivion Ring effect. But yeah, this pack's pretty mediocre for the whole. Okay, I do remember liking Spoils of Adventure. Not worth splashing for, but 6 mana instant, gain 3, draw 3, and then if you reduce its cost for its party. So you have full party. Blue-white was the full party colors. Yeah, 2 mana, gain 3, draw 3, obviously very good. For us, though, yeah, I'm just going to take more of these spell lands. These are amazing because they just prevent you getting screwed and flooded. Every time you draw one of these, when you would have drawn the one you didn't need, it's so good. Alright, this is one of these meme. This is when they started adding meme EDH cards. This card's actually playable, though. It has Ward 2 before Ward existed, because it says here, spells your opponents cast at target. It costs 2 more to cast, and then so 4 mana, 0/17, you can pay 3 to give it plus X minus X, where X is the number of islands you control. So it blocks well, and then late game turns into a win con. This guy's whatever, filler 2/3. I'm going to take the funny crab guy. We're also pretty heavy blue, so his ability will be relevant. Wall Mage's Familiar is a great signpost uncommon. Blue-green does the kicker thing. It's a 3 mana 2/4 that taps for mana and then also gives you life, which is exactly what you need when you're sort of doing the slow kicker game plan. So Wouldn't mind having that card if I were blue-green, but I'll just take Bubble Snare. Got another Black Bloom Rogue. Amazing. Love it. Fourth Anti-Cognition. I don't know if I'll play 4. I remember liking this card alright in the kicker deck. 0-5, and then if you start playing your kicker stuff, it attacks. But yeah, the rest of the stuff is pretty mediocre. Oh, Ruin Crab. Dude, this card, if your opponent played turn 1 Ruin Crab, and you didn't have a removal spell for it, you just felt like you lost. It wasn't always true, but a landfall mills 3 goes through your deck so fast and limited when they have it on turn 1. If your opponent went turn 1 Ruin Crab, turn 2 Ruin Crab land, you just conceded. You just couldn't win anymore. But yeah, this card's awesome. It fills up their graveyard really quickly, which is exactly what we want to do. So I think, you know, our deck is pretty much complete. We just got to figure out exactly what cards we're going to play here. Ended up with like 30 plus playables, which is pretty insane. All right, let's see here. Silencer, it's on the chopping block. This is on the chopping block. These guys are lands. I like to count, so with the spell lands, if they're the good ones I'd rather cast as spells, like Black Bloom Rogues, I count them as spells, and if they're the medium ones, then I count them as lands. That's sort of the way I go. Otherwise, the other, like, heuristic or rule of thumb you can use is just count them as half a land. Because you don't really want to, like, you don't want to cut 5 lands for 5 of these, because then you have 5 tap lands in your deck, and you could get some really clunky draws. But I think, like, we can go down probably 3 lands here to 6-6. Or, sorry, 7-7, 3 of these. So it's like we're playing 19 lands, but it's also like we're playing 28 spells. But in a 40-card deck. It's very powerful. So these are definitely not making it. Vanquish the Weak is medium. Mind Drain is fine. Don't know if I want all of these effects. This is Divination, but you can pay an extra 3 for an extra card. This is like my mediocre blue kicker pile. This is a good kicker. I want to keep that. Don't know about 4 Anti-Cognition. I like the rest of this stuff, though. Let's see. Let's say I kept 1 Duelist. Alright, yeah, so I keep 1 Duelist just as a cheap interaction option. Maybe keep 2 Geyser Mage, 2 Royal Mage, just to have enough creatures on curve. Go down on Anti-Cognition. I got these Field Research. Not sure how I feel about these two. I think I want Vanquish. Maybe keep Mind Drain. So actually, I probably want to go down a Swamp of an Island, since we have these 2 triple blue guys. This is like our removal package. Or our interaction, as it were. Yeah, there's plenty of good interaction. Let's see, 6 swamps. It's really not to cast that many spells. It's the Thought Thief, Sky Dancer, Mind Drain, and the Rogues. And like these, but these are kind of... And we go down even 1 more swamp, up 1 more island. I really want to be able to cast the Dominations, and Charix wants you to have lots of islands. Oh, I guess Deadly Alliance too. But I still think this is technically 9 black sources thanks to the power of these double cards. So, and 1 last card's got to go. I'll cut a Geyser Mage. They're pretty average. All right, I think this is the deck. Let's try it out. All right, here you can see the power of these spell lands. This could be theoretically a 5-land hand, which would be terrible, or it could be this 5 spell, 2 swamps, and it would be terrible. Instead, we have a blue land, we have some swamps, and then we can use the Black Bloom Rogue as a creature. So, pretty happy with this. Ooh, the Ruin Crab is here too. So that's going to be my turn 2 play. I'll do this and then play the land. Start filling up the graveyard. It'll only take like 3 turns for this rogue to be a 5/3. Opponent's on Throne of McKindy. Interesting. Alright, well here's Ruin Crab. Here to ruin your day. And if he tries to kill it, I can Malakir Rebirth it, which is very funny. Let's see, they are the blue-green kicker deck, it would appear. That deck was pretty good. Okay. Let's mill them for 3. Their deck is going to run out of cards really quickly. Oh, this card was great. It's one of those classic, if you don't immediately kill it, it very quickly runs you over. And then I think I'll just pass and hold up my Sky Dancer rather than play out the Rogue. It's true it would be a 5-3 next turn, but I just want to keep milling them. And I also want to hold up Rebirth because this crap is like a very real win condition. Canopy Baloth, sure. It's one of the landfall cards. Just a big old beater. That's all it does. It attacks. I guess it can also block. Alright, another land. Mill you for 3. It's already down 19 cards. And then I'm going to play Windrobber and Black Bloom Rogue. As a 5-3 menace, which is pretty strong. The Rogue deck is so sick because you just so many times end up like killing them on 2 axes because there's a lot of unblockable damage coming through, but also their deck is very quickly running out of cards. It's true the cards in my hand kind of don't do very much. But, you know, that's fine. I think I will trade the Rogue for the Baloth. Yeah. I can win a late game pretty easily here, I feel. Guy's weird. I want to play this as a land. I think I will. But I really like to draw, like, islands at some point. Let's see. I'm just going to pass for now. Maybe I shouldn't have made that trade. Spring Mantle. Okay, so this is a 4-5. Sure. Draw. Bubble Snare. I cannot kick it, but if he attacks me, I'll be able to do it. Yeah, this is getting a little awkward. I might just sack this now to draw a card. Anti-cognition. Okay. Guess I'm just going to pass then with my anti-cognition up. I can counter literally anything they play. Alright, take 4. And I can bubble snare this for 1 blue next turn. I will counter that. Scry 2. Don't really want that. Well, yeah, I don't want this off consumption. I do want the island though, so I'll keep that. Alright, play island. Mill them for 3. And actually, instead of bubble snaring, I think I'm just going to Royal Mage the anti-cognition back to my hand. So go. They're down to 9 cards, so I play 3 more lands. They die to Ruin Crab. I have another one of these. So this is a 4 or 5 once you kick it, and then it does not have Defender. I'm just going to chump block. I don't want to die. I'm not winning by attacking them. Alright, Swamp is a little awkward. Didn't need a Swamp. That's okay. Roll them for 3. And we'll Bubble Snare the 4-5. Swords to Plowshares, baby. 1 mana, kill your creature. Love to see it. And I have this hard counter here. Charix, yeah, we'll counter that. Scry 2. So I kind of just want to draw land, right? There are 5 cards left. It feels really weird, but I think I'm going to bottom. Crazy digging for lands when you're this late in the game. I'll just take the 4 for now. Not under a ton of pressure. Hard Cunning Geyser Mage. I could pick up my Sky Dancer and replay it later, but I think I'll just bounce this Sentinel they replayed and pass while I wait to draw another land. Alright, they're charging up their Throne of McKindy. Another 4-5. It's fine. That's alright. Finally drew an island. And play the land. Mill them to 1 card. And then Lull Mage's Domination. Let's see, this is CMC 5, so I need to pay X equals 2. Oh, how does this work? 3 less. Alright, so I need to play 8, actually, right? I actually don't know how this card works. 3 less guys with target creature. Gain control of target creature mana value X. So it should cost 6. Yes, 6. No, it won't let me cast it for 6. Huh. So 8 mana minus 3. Oh, 5. Okay. That was really embarrassing. I could not do math for a second there. Alright. We got there. We were winning, again, on all axes of that game. We were going to win a normal game, but also they had 1 card in the library. And I think that's the power of the rogue deck, that it really puts you under a lot of pressure very early. It's very stressful to play against. Alright, game 2. On the play here. Good hand. Nice that this can be a land or a spell, depending whether or not we draw a 3rd land naturally. It is interesting. Do I want to lead on this as a swamp? Regular swamp, island. I think it's unlikely I want to play the Zulid Port Duelist for 1. So I think I'm just going to lead on island and pass. I might play it, but at least leading on island gives me the choice. I'll draw another island. Yeah, I think I'd rather have the rogue as a spell at this point, so I'm just going to play a 2nd land and pass. No rush here when it's on the warrior deck. Okay. So now do I play out the rogue? It does mean I don't have a 4th land. Yeah, it's okay though. It's a good blocker here. With this bubble snare and duelist to buy time. Can take 1 hit from this and then snare it. Scavenge Blade. Alright, we are going to take 6, which is a lot, but they've invested a lot of resources into this, so I think it's fine. Fortunately, didn't draw another land, which is a little annoying. Could just play this guy out. It's a 3-2. Don't know if I want to take 6 again, though. I think I'll bubble snare the Blade Master. I could into the royal my rogue to play it as a land, but I don't think that's very good. I think I'd rather just draw land naturally. If this had been one of the blue MDFCs, I would have played it as a land for the domination, but like the 4th mana of black doesn't really help me. Alright, bounce the Scorch Rider. Did draw a nice land, that's good. Fortunately, I can't do a ton with it, but I'll play out the Geyser Mage for now. So 3-2. Attack for 2. Say go. Alright, replay Scorch Rider, that's fine. Play a mountain. Draw. Alright, definitely going to play this as a land. And attack for 2. No. Yes. No, I'm just going to pass. I want to double block and then use the duelist as well. I got a Canyon Jerboa. Little landfall synergy there. So I can make this into a 3-4, so it'll trade with 1 thing. It's probably fine. He's gonna move the blade. Okay. So now, oh, it has double strike. I forgot about that. Alright, well, let's do this. Make a mill 2. think I'm just going to chump block it now. This means all your equipped warriors have double strike. Yeah, that's pretty good. Alright, so I could steal the Blade Master, which would at least take the double strike off the Scorch Rider. Alternatively, I could just play out Falconer. I'm pretty far from filling his graveyard even. I mean, I could Thought Thief and then attack, and they would have to mill 2. They'd be at 4 cards. But we'd still be a little far from getting there. Having the domination of the Blade Master feels kind of bad, though. And it's still a 6-3, still kind of an issue. I'm going to play this Thought Thief. And then attack for 2. Trigger. We just really need to be able to dominate this thing instead. Alright, so we throw the chump block so that we don't die. Those bounce. And he's going to finish off my Thought Thief with Hazard. This is looking pretty bad for your boy over here. This is also a huge issue. He's going to pump it a bunch of times. Draw another land. So now we can steal something that costs 3. But at this point, I think it's a little too late. I'll just play the Falconer. Pass. I sort of forgot that this gave all your warriors double strike. Probably wasn't worth bubbling as a result. Trade Ita Turboa, hopefully. No, alright. Yep, unfortunately, they had just about everything they need there. Bit of an awkward start for us. Right, on the play, very good hand. We got turn 1 Wind Robber, turn 2 Thought Thief. This very quickly gets them to 8 cards and then turns all your other cards on. Some removal spells and a Charix. There, and when this set was in Standard, there was a blue-black rogue deck that ran these cards, and it's kind of a nightmare to play against. Main phase this to get our value. We've already got 3 cards in their graveyard. They're running Spare Supplies. This card wasn't spectacular. Just like 4 mana, draw 2. Gnarlid Colony. Yeah, it's just like a kicker bear. Alright. I don't have anything really to do this turn, but I can just attack. That's fine. Oh, they're on like Bant, kicker. I yet to see them play a good card, but maybe that will change this turn. And they only have forests in play. It's not that much they can do. Skyclave Sentinel. Okay, that blocks all my flyers. But thankfully I have 2 different ways to remove it. This is like doesn't do anything while it sits on the battlefield, so I think I can just bubble snare it. Yeah, and they're off of it. Okay. Yeah, getting your whole deck dumped into the graveyard just makes it feel worse. Like, if it was just his life total going down, he'd be fine. You know, he's at like 17. It's going to go to 15. But like having a quarter of your deck already dumped in the graveyard just feels like you can't win. So far, it seems like the key to success is having a 1-drop on the play. That's really helped. Which I don't know if we were on the play game 1, but we definitely had turn 1 Ruin Crab, which helped a lot. Or I suppose we drew it turn 2. Yeah, it's the same difference. Okay. Sand's very slow, and these dominations look a little awkward. But am I supposed to keep it? We have this anti-cognition. No, I think I should mulligan. Because like once we play this as a land, or like Swamp Island, Cognition, and a bunch of double blue spells we can't cast, and triple blues. Okay, this is a little better. I'm gonna keep. I guess I'll put back the Veil. Yeah, seems fine. So I want to play a 1-drop on turn 1. Okay, mono blue deck is going according to plan right now. They're on the blue-green kicker deck, it looks like. Blue. We're going to bubble snare it. Okay. I will probably just pick it up with my Into the Royal. The question is, do I want to do that now, or do I want to wait to draw a card? I think I'll just do it now. Actually, maybe I need the value. This just isn't doing that much. Alright, I'll just wait. Yep, alright. Mono blue. We're doing it. Yeah, I need these to draw a card, because otherwise I'm not getting out of this. Risen Riptide, sure. They're also mono blue. It's a fun matchup. Okay. So let's use Scry 2 when you cast a kick spell. That's pretty good. So I'll pass, likely Into the Royal, my Windrobber. And they do have their green mana now. And then play Falconer next turn. Geyser Mage is a 3-2, that's fine. Charix, that's a good blocker. That walls this for days. Yeah, I think I'll play Charix and Windrobber this turn, actually. Because I like its capacity to block, and still being mana efficient by playing 5 mana spells. Felt like if I just played the Falconer and they played something kicked that killed it or interacted with it, we just wouldn't be getting very far. That's kind of an interesting question, which one to block, right? Should I block the guaranteed 3 damage or the maybe 5 damage? I'll block the guaranteed 3. Okay, guessed right. They didn't have anything. Dork, that gains some life. Alright. Blackland, we will probably play out here. Not particularly close to casting it. And then I think we're just going to run out the Falconer and attack for 1. So right now, Charix's ability for 3 mana makes him a 4/13. Pretty good blocker. Alright, here's the Falconer. Okay, so decided their attacks didn't really make any sense. And they're going to play Kazandu Stomper. So 6/5, and you can pick up lands. It declines to, which, you know, helps you re-trigger landfall. They're at 3 cards, so right now we could take a Geyser Mage or Riptide if we wanted. It's not terrible, honestly. Could take the Riptide. I could also wait to take a better card. Yeah, that's probably fine. I'll just attack with my flyers and hold up all my removal and whatnot. I think since I've seen Spell Shield, I might actually just kill the Kazandu Stomper right now. I also play around like counter magic, and we can hold up Charix's ability so that he can't attack us. Alright. You can have as many of those as you want. I don't care. Anti-cognition. Nice. They're at 5 cards, so they're pretty close to this being a hard counter. Alright, attack for 5 in the air. They have something for 1 blue? The Zulaport Duelist? Or no? Okay. Trigger. And I still don't want to use this on a 3-drop, so I'm just going to pass. Now I could double activate to make it a 10/7. Can start attacking at some point too. Alright, so this is a 7 mana 6/6 with hexproof and haste. Okay, that's fine. Notably, can't be countered, so just I couldn't anti-cognition it. Just gonna pass. It has hexproof. I don't really want to bounce ascetic or Geyser Mage. Could bounce the Riptide. I don't know if that's worth it. I feel like using this to cycle. I'll bounce one of these. They can gain 3 life. I don't really care. Because I want to scry 2. They're at 6 cards in their graveyard. I mean, these are pretty good. They have even one more card in graveyard. I guess I'll draw that. Throw away the land. Oh yeah, there we go. Now we can do a number of things. We could take one of these if I wanted. I think I will start. I'm just going to attack for 5. Nothing over there has reach. Trigger mill them. And then I'm just going to pass. Now I can use Duelist to get them to 8 cards, and then Anti-Cognition becomes a hard counter. Also Scries 2. Alright, well I don't even need to do that. I can just do this. I guess I could have done this first to Scry, but now I can use this as a surprise blocker. If they choose to get in there. I can jump the Baloth and eat the Aesthetic and take 8. We're going to choose not to even attack, which is fine with me. Draw a Ruin Crab, sure. Okay, I'm going to attack for 5. I'll play the crab, because why not? This guy, Seagate Stormcaller. This was the next Snapcaster Mage. Although not quite. 2 and a 2/1, kicker for 5. And then you get to copy your next instant or sorcery with mana value 2 or less, but if you kicked it, you did it twice. It's pretty mediocre and limited, and also unconstructed. Aesthetic. So they are at 9 cards, so I'm going to say nope. Good game. Yeah, that was a pretty dominating performance by Charix. As soon as it came down, it just walled their entire board for the entire game. They never once dealt a point of damage to me after I played it. And the Flyers got the job done. Pretty glad I mulliganed that opening 7. Don't think that would have gone nearly as well if we hadn't. Alright, on the play, and we can keep, courtesy of this Bayin Veil. I have a hard time mulliganing 2 lands, Ruin Crab, Anti-Cognition. Do need a 3rd land, but I think this is fine. Play the Crab before my Swamp, obviously, get my landfall trigger. They have a Ruin Crab? No. Maybe they have a Zulaport Duelist, though. Here's Ruin Crab. Does feel like they have Zulaport Duelist. Swamp. Oh yeah, there you are, the Rogue deck. Glad to see the Thought Thief in the graveyard. They're going to play out the Duelist. Mill me for 2. There go my islands I really needed. I don't know if this was correct to do, but if it mills over my 2 islands I needed, then maybe it was. If you have another one of, if you have a Thought Thief in your hand, it's probably worth it. I really hope they don't. I have a Skyclave Squid. Okay. Draw a Merfolk Windrobber. Kind of annoying. These darn islands in my graveyard. They just played out a 1-mana 1/1 with no value, except that it is secretly double Stone Rain. I'm just going to pass. I'd rather hold up Duelist or Cognition than play out the Windrobber right now. That's basically a hard counter this early in the game. Our Squid can attack, which is fine. Okay, I'll block the Duelist. Take 3. Counter basically anything they play. Just for the tempo. Play nothing. Okay. Do I want to play out my Duelist? Here I am making fun of them, but I'm about to play out my own 1-mana 1/1. And on top, I didn't even save the life. So I thought I wanted to counter something. I draw another spell. Gazing wistfully at the islands in the graveyard. Guess I'll play out the Windrobber now. I could also Bubble Snare the Squid. I just don't care about the Squid, really. I'm going to play out the Windrobber. A Ruin Crab kind of sucks if you never draw any lands. Doesn't do anything. Alright, they have a Sky Dancer. Yeah, if you mill over 2 more lands, I'm shooting someone. Alright, thank you. I was gonna say I'm shooting someone at MTG Arena headquarters. Maybe I shouldn't say that on YouTube. I don't know. The algorithm probably doesn't even watch my videos though, so. Okay, I'll block Duelist on Duelist. Take 3 again from the Squid. I want to get more cards in their graveyard. I'm at 4, they're at 5, so seems fine with me. If they want to use another Duelist to have the Duelist win, that's kind of annoying, but fine. Alright, they trade. I take 3, and they pass. Alright, draw a tap land. Better than nothing, I suppose. Get to mill them for 3. So now our Anti-Cognition has its Scry 2 mode turned on, which is pretty cool. And Wind Robber can be sacked to draw a card, which is also pretty cool. I'm just going to pass with my Anti-Cognition available here. I think that's better than Bubble Snaring the Squid again. They're going to play Zulport Duelist now, as opposed to when they could have used it to win the combat. This seems slightly strange. I could sack this to draw a card and negate the mill, but I don't think that's worth it. Mill over 2 more lands. Already put 3 islands in the graveyard. I think I'm running 8 islands. So still have 5 left. Alright, they play Selendi Vision as a land. Get their landfall going. This Squid is about is 20 to 0 me. Alright, I will block the Duelist with my Crab. Well, I guess I gotta counter the second Squid just to do something with my mana. Also, I need to scry. The scry is pretty important here. Island. Well, apparently I didn't need to scry. Do I want a 5th land? Yeah, probably, actually. Because I have these kicker spells I want to start using. And I just want to get Ruin Crab value. So here's land. Number 4. They're at 17 cards left. I'm just going to hold up Sky Dancer / Into the Royal, and I'm just going to pass. Probably use the Sky Dancer to try to block the Squid. Blood Priest. So that's going to trigger off Rogue and Cleric. Ping me for 2. This card is really good. I love this card. Especially in the red-black party aggro deck. This was just regularly like 2-mana 2/1 Lightning Helix your opponent, which felt pretty gross. Squid cannot attack thanks to not triggering landfall. I don't really have any good Into the Royal targets though, so I don't just play out the Sky Dancer on end step. Alright, they're going to attack. Question is, do I want to trade my Sky Dancer for theirs or the Wind Robber? I think the Wind Robber, though it's kind of close. Because the Wind Robber does have the ability to mill them when it attacks. But this blocks the Squid, which I think is slightly more important. Alright, Sky Dancer. Gets countered. Okay. And they get to scry too, which is pretty good. Although anything they scry is getting milled over, so it's kind of pointless. They don't know that. They don't know I have a 5th land. 1 top, 1 bottom. In the end, it doesn't even matter. So I think I'll just pass. It is tempting to use the Geyser Mage, but or like play it out as a blocker, but if I wait 1 more turn, I'll have the mana to kicker it, and I'm just going to Royal the Squid if they actually have a land. If not, I'll just take 1 off the Duelist and be fine with that. Alright, they play out Jawari Disruption, which makes sense. It's a sensor, or not sensor, mana tithe, whatever. Force Spike. Costs 2 mana, but it's on a land. I was unlikely to get anything. They're going to feed the Swarm my Ruin Crab. And the question is, do I bounce my own Ruin Crab? I'll take 6, but it is kind of my win condition right now. The other option is letting it die, killing the squid, taking 3. So if I take 6, I can replay my crab, I can snare something, and I can play the Geyser Mage. Yeah, I'm getting greedy. Give me my crab back. From Mind Drain. Not great here. Does gain a life. Alright, down to 3. Tazim Royal Mage. Alright, I'm going to play Ruin Crab. I'm going to Bubble Snare the Squid. And I'm just going to Mind Drain. Just to gain a life? Is that worth it? Or should I just play out this Geyser Mage? I'm going to just play out the Geyser Mage. If I really need to bounce something, I can Royal Mage back my Into the Royal if I draw land. I just want to have a blocker here. Because they draw a removal spell, I don't just die. They did draw what is essentially a removal spell. I guess if they drew a second one here, I would die. Alright, block the Blood Priest, go to 2. And it's a land. Okay. Draw Thought Thief, not a bad draw here. Yeah, I'm just going to do this to mill them. I'll get to gain a life. And I'll pass with my Thought Thief up. There are 8 cards left, so basically 2 more lands off the crab, and that would be lethal. Let's eat this, block here. Also, this mills 2 per turn, so. Alright, I don't mind drawing a hard counter. I'm gonna be safe. No point in attacking with the Geyser Mage, that's not what this game is about. We're trying to mill them out, not kill them with damage. Basically not going to counter anything that doesn't win them the game. So this is only a creature or planeswalker spell. I can't counter this. Alright, there's a land. They go to 2 cards. Thought Thief attack will put them to 0 cards. This card is a super mega bomb. It's 4 mana with kicker to make a 2/2 flyer. And then every time you cast a kicked spell, you get another 2/2. Pretty unbeatable once you get it going, because you're getting all the value from kicking your spells and a 2/2 flyer on top each time. And it, you know, pays you up front with a 2/2, so you don't even lose that much tempo. Like, a lot of times those sort of value enchantments, you have to, like, pay 4 mana and you get nothing, and you have to untap and then do something. But that pays you right away, so it's pretty good. So I think my favorite archetypes were the red-black party aggro, the blue-black rogue deck, and the green-blue kicker deck based on Roost of Drakes. So honorable mentions to the red-white warrior deck. I think all 3 landfalls, or no, there were 2 landfall decks, red-green and green-white, I think were medium. Green-black was the worst color pair, if I recall. It was like a +1/+1 counter theme, but it was very poorly supported. Blue-red was Wizards. Wizards was pretty good. Black-white was Clerics. That was also decent. And then blue-white was Party. I didn't think blue-white worked nearly as well as red-black in terms of trying to assemble the full party. Alright, on the play. Yep, this looks good. A Duelist into a Thought Thief. Get our value. I'm going to probably play out Duelist as a 1-mana 1/1 just to trigger this right away. It's true that I can't mill them, but I will get to mill a card right away. I get to get 1 damage. No, I think I'll wait then. I think I'll wait and just pass. This has flash, so I'm not going to expose it to sorcery speed removal here. They're on Swamp, and they have an Expedition Skulker. Now I'll Thought Thief. Draw Island. Interesting. I'm going to attack. That much for sure. Alright, they're on the green-black counter deck. This was an example of just like the common sucked. This is a 3-mana 2/3 that when it dies, you get to put a counter on something. It's just like not good, you know? Alright, I'm going to play out Royal Mage. We're very far from kicking it. We have plenty of value, and this lets us block and then try to use the Duelist to win the combat. Alright, they don't have green mana. Don't kill my Thought Thief, he's so cute. Alright, they're going to play one of the Muck Lords. Let's see, are they familiar with the Zulaport Duelist tech? It's really obvious if you've played this deck, because I've been holding priority with 1 blue. Alright, looks like they know. I'm still going to play it, just to mill them 2 cards, and, you know, they know about it, so it wasn't like it was going to do a ton. Okay, I don't mind Mind Drain. It's pretty good. You know, mind draining these nuts. That'll get them to 6 cards, and then we'll attack, get them to 8 cards. Looks like they're kind of a green-black party deck here. This was one of the payoffs for the party deck. It's 6 mana 5/5 Vigilance that counted for party and cost less for party. It's pretty cool. To 9 cards. We get to hit them for 2. Yeah, they have a collection of green and black cards. I think if you've played this set a lot, this is not a deck you'd ever end up in. You just pretty much wanted to avoid green-black. Oh, that hurts, though. That hurts. Losing both my Into the Royals. And they pass. Okay. Interesting question of what I should do with this. Because I do have 5 drops and Kicker stuff in my deck, but also this could be pretty useful to play at some point. I'm going to do this. I'm going to hold it. You know, if I draw a 5-drop, then I'll probably play it out, but I don't have that many 5-drops. And if I go land, I'm going to be really happy to be able to use this. They do have green mana now. And they have a Blood Chief's Thirst. Okay, now we're kind of far behind. Got pretty badly 2-for-1'd by the Mind Drain. And get attacked for 2, I'll take it. No point in trading both these, and this is another one of the payoffs I put in quotations for the green-black counter deck. 3 mana 2/2 Menace, and then it gives your counters with, or creatures with counters Menace. It's like, just not really that good on rate. Just doesn't do that much. I could have attacked with the Royal Mage, but I feel like at this point we are trying to stay alive and draw one of our powerful spells rather than just attack pointlessly. I'm not going to block the Muck Lord or the Constrictor. Don't want to trade 2-for-1. Okay, well, like I said, glad I have this off consumption because it's going to keep my life total stable while we wait to draw gas, hopefully. I mean, at some point they should start drawing lands. I'm going to not block. So I double block this, for example, and then I have no creatures out. I'm just going to get attacked by everything. Geyser Mage, that's not bad. Play that out. Bounce the Muck Lord. Not that it like really matters which one I bounce. It's kind of the most annoying though. I could have bounced Royal Mage and then Royal Maged back and into the Royal, but I think that maybe it's too slow. Although maybe that was worth doing, I'm not sure. And they have a Dreadworm. Its landfall gains Indestructible. It's pretty good. Their hand is a Ghoul-Draz Muck Lord. Okay. They pass. Lull Mages. That's a good draw. So let's see if I remember how this works. So normally I'd have to pay 8, but it's -3, so I have to pay 5. No. Yes, so I don't have 8 mana though. Oh wait, no, 5. Oh my god, I actually can't do the math on this thing. Alright, I want the Dreadworm. Give it to me. Now can I start attacking? I think the answer is yes, actually. I think I will. Maybe I don't want to do this. I will attack with the Tazim though. they want to trade, that's fine. Alright, replay Mucklord. They have a land in hand. No, they have Acquisitions Expert. Okay, this card's really good, but not when your opponent doesn't have anything in hand, because then it doesn't do anything. Draw Black Bloom Rogue. Excellent benefit to having MDSCs. This could have been a swamp in a normal deck, but instead it's a 3-mana 5/3 Menace, which is pretty strong. We're at a bit of an impasse though. Now this has Death Touch, so I'm not going to attack unless I draw land to give this indestructible. One of the things I love about the set is there's two mechanics, the spell lands and landfall, which just make flooding out feel way less bad. Because when you have landfall creatures, drawing lands isn't bad, and drawing spell lands is good. So I could trade this for two things. I think that would be fine. Yeah, I don't mind that. Could also send this Cunning Geyser Mage. Yeah, now I have another blocker. I'm kind of less scared. Start clearing out the stuff on their board. See, they're at 14 cards in the library. And we've milled over a lot of spells. There's one forest in here. So, yeah, I'll trade for both of these. That seems fine. They get a counter. Probably put on the Skulker. Yeah, it's pretty good. 3/3 Death Touch. Or not Death Touch anymore. They have a Rogue. 3/3 Menace. Play a land, sure. Alright, play Sky Dancer. Target you. Draw land. So I could play it to give this indestructible and get in there. I think that's fine. Could also hold it if I draw Ruin Crab, but I don't think that's what the game is about. I think we're winning on damage now. I'm gonna attack like this. For 10. They have to block the Geyser Mage, so probably trade a Constrictor for it. And then take 7. Seems pretty good. So now every time I draw a land, this eats a creature, and any spell I draw is good. This is also a 2-turn clock, yeah. A little bit too much going on, and we milled over like a ton of spells, so I suspect they've just been drawing lands most of that time. Lol Mage's Domination came in clutch there, and it was a good top deck. The card's just really good. Alright, on the draw, we have a Relic Golem, which we haven't seen yet, I don't think. But it looks okay. We got a Duelist, 2 Anti-Cognitions. That'll help keep us alive. I'm going to play this as a land here. I don't care about Duelisting. It's not really that many haste creatures to worry about. It does seem like they have their own Zulaport Duelist. Not great to use on an empty board, though, because you can't get the mill to. They're also on Rogues. They have a Ghastly Gloom Hunter. 2-mana 1/1 Flying Lifelink, and then you can kick it for more counters. Just gonna pass. Hold up these counter spells. Take 1. Counter basically anything they play. Definitely gonna. Oh, can't counter that. It's a creature planeswalker spell. For some reason I thought this could like counter anything, but clearly it cannot do that. I'm going to play the Duelist. I need to just get cards in their graveyard. I think that's important here. Another land. I want to play a Relic Golem. I think so. It does. The shields are down for anti-cognition, but there's a lot of stuff we can't counter anyways, as I've just learned. I swear I've played this set before, guys. I swear I know what I'm doing. But then this way I can hold up the Relic Golem activation, and this very quickly becomes a 6/6. All right, they have a Charx. Could have countered that, but now I can't. That makes my Relic Golem look silly, but now the alternate win condition activates, which is just doing this, let's see, what, 13 times? Minus however many cards they just draw naturally. So I'm not going to play out Charx. I'm going to hold these guys and the Relic Golem. I'm just going to pass. Creature or Planeswalker. Let's see if we can remember that. The Gloom Hunter is getting in there. Oh, okay. Milieu. Draw Ruin Crab. That's a great draw. Play that out for sure. Play land. Milieu again. So yeah, now we're Relic Golem can attack and block, which obviously it's not getting through Charix, but that's fine. For now, I'll just pass. Now we have Anti-Cognitions. Royal Mage can pick it back up. Every land we draw is good because of the crab. We're going to run out of cards really quickly here. We're doing about 5 a turn here. It's about a 3-ish turn clock with their draw step. So they can attack with Charix. They'd have to like use a bunch of their mana, so it's probably not worth it, but just going to pass. Okay. I'm going to just keep milling you. I don't know what they got going on, but also don't care. They're going to Deadly Alliance my Golem. Yeah, I can't do anything about that. Draw a Cunning Geyser Mage. Really would have liked a 6 land, so I could play Charix and hold up the Cognitions. And so I could get the Ruin Crab going. But I don't think playing this out, like, this, I could play my own Charix just to block theirs. I think I'll just pass, though. Really just want to draw a 6 land next turn. Alright, here comes Charix. I'm just going to chump block it. They have to at least spend 3 mana to eat the Duelist. Thing is, this can hit for 10, so it's going to remove my life total very quickly. But then my Charix can come in and wall it at some point. Please play a creature that I can counter. I draw Mind Drain. That's not very helpful, huh? I'm going to do that for now. Discard 2 Zulaport Duelists. It's pretty funny. I'm just going to pass. I could take 1 hit from Charix. Yeah, 1 hit. It's going to be for 10, so I'll go to an amount of life that is 16 minus 11. Alright, they're only going to activate once, which is good for me. And we do draw land, though it's not a blue land. So yeah, now we run the risk of having our guy countered. Oh, they have a Tower Axe. I guess I have to live with that and just play out this guy with Kicker, maybe. Let's see. Buy us some time. I feel like they have Anti-Cognition now. Maybe then I should just play Charix. What am I doing? Alright, whatever. I will chump block with the Ruin Crab, I suppose. I played this very poorly. I have a Skitter Sneak. It is not activated yet. There's the blue land I need a last turn. Alright, here's the big dog. So go. So he can only activate for 3, which is annoying because Can't block the Skitter Sneak right now, so that's just going to come across for damage. Block here. Take 4. Alright, that finally can counter. Also get to scry 2. It's pretty nice. Island into the Royal. Let's see. I like the island. What's in my graveyard? I guess nothing in my graveyard is really worth getting back, though. Yeah, I don't need the island then. Just take the into the Royal. Okay, take 1. This is eventually going to become a problem. I will counter that. Scry 2. Bane Veil Falconer. Well, the Falconer's pretty good. I don't really need the Veil, though. Do I want to into the Royal? No, I don't think so. I want to save it for when I have this Falconer out here. Play the Falconer. See, they're at 8 cards, so there's a good chance that they don't have much left in their deck to save them. Let's see, 3, 4, 5, 9. So they have like 3 lands left in the deck and 5 spells. It's a decent amount of spells. Alright, I'm going to block with my Charix. I don't really think this is going to work out for them. Okay. Okay. And this has 17 toughness. You tried your best, little bro. I don't know what that was all about. All right, Thought Thief, not a bad draw either. Just going to pass. This will mill them out faster. I can play it on their end step. Mill 2 more cards. Should win in about 2 turns here. I have a Black Bloom Rogue. For once, I can't anti-cognition it. Let's see, let's kicker this. I'm gonna bounce the Rogue. Scry 2. Sure, I'll take another into the Royal. That seems good. Draw a card. I did give this Menace, which is kind of annoying, but I have another into the Royal. Play Thought Thief. Okay. Play. Well, let's see. 6 cards left. So let's attack with our Thought Thief here. Rolling for 2. Got rid of a Bloodchief's Thirst, which is good. Then, let's see. So I have 8 mana, so I could go kicker this guy, get back something, get back an anti-cognition, I guess. So I get to scry 2, and I hold up into the Royal. Let's put another blocker down. Take this Black Bloom Rogue. Also, it takes a card out of my graveyard, so this no longer has Menace, which is pretty good. Alright, they have a land. Black Bloom Rogue, I'm going to counter it. It does give this Menace again, so, but to scry 2. Ooh, another Royal Mage. Just keep going crazy with the combo. Seems fine. Oh, and now I died a removal spell. Maybe that was bad. Oh, yeah. Whoops. Alright, good game, good game. Oh, wait, no, they can't use Charks. What am I talking about? So we should be fine then, because we'll get to mill them twice more. So we can double lock the Skitter Sneak here. Mill them twice more. Alright. Crisis averted, I think. Grab this guy again. Attack for 2. Say go. I have 1 card left. Creatures and planeswalkers won't work, and I have an Into the Royal to bounce one of their creatures so I don't die. It's looking pretty good for me. Last card is a Mind Drain. I'll bounce the Skitter Stink in response. Good game. Alright, we got there. Slight miscalculation, but, you know, all's well that ends well. Six and 1. Playing for the trophy. I'm playing against a Mythic. No pain, no gain. I feel like that name is familiar, but who knows? It's a pretty common sort of phrase. Have a good hand here on the play. Thought Thief, obviously, is probably our best card, so that's cool. Anti-Cognition. These work well together. You can play at instant speed. Counter a problematic creature, or just play this. Alright, what you got, opponent? A keepable 7 or an unkeepable 7? Looks like they're going to keep. And we are underway with an island. And some mountain and a sneaking guide. Okay. This card, low-key, more playable than it looks like. Just because it sort of enables your aggressive party decks to do the things that they want to do. I am going to try to Thought Thief them. That's kind of greedy, but whatever. I'm greedy. And we did get there, which is cool. And they played a Kargan Intimidator. This is a cute card. Cowards can't block warriors. 2 mana 3/1 human warrior, and then you can pay 1, give it +1/+1, make something a coward, or gain trample. Alright, I will attack. Since cowards can't block warriors. Oh, this card's really good. It's a land that, if you flood out, makes 2 4/4 flyers and gives them indestructible until your next turn. Pretty good. I'm gonna hold on to this. We have already 5 mana and 2 good spells to get back. I want to save it for kicker. Alright, take 3. Hopefully we can counter a 3-drop. Nice. Kargan War Leader. Good little Lord for the warrior deck. 3/3. Bust your warriors. Not exactly a complicated card, but you know. Alright, I'm going to keep doing this. 6. Okay. Need to draw something to do next turn. Because we're going to probably Deadly Alliance something this turn. I think I'll willing to take the 3 and then try to Alliance a 4-drop instead, because I'm not that scared of this card. Ardent Electromancer. Okay, that's pretty good. Oh, I guess I can... I guess I kill this in response to give them less mana. Is that how this works? So maybe they can't play the thing. Alright, they can still play a thing that they wanted to, which is annoying. Did draw something to do this turn, which is good. So this is 2 mana 2/2. Whenever it attacks, target creature opponent controls power less than or equal to the number of warriors you control can't block. So that actually will make my Thought Thief unable to block, so I might as well attack. Now I have 2 power, so I'm dealing 2 damage. I'll probably bounce the Vanguard, because bouncing this is not as mana efficient as this returns 2 mana. I always liked this card a lot. It is very similar to Burning Tree Emissary, one of my favorite cards. Try to gain some tempo, gain some life here. Bounce that. Draw a card. Another Royal Mage. Alright, that's our game plan. Play a bunch of Royal Mages. Or repeat Deadly Alliances. Oh, and they have a Rebuke for my Thought Thief. That kind of hurts. It's kind of rude, I would say. Let's play this guy. Get back, Deadly Alliance. Our life total is getting a little sketchy. Especially if they have a removal spell for this Royal Mage here. Which looks like they don't. So I'm going to block the... Do I want to take 3? This is annoying because it can make my guys not block. It doesn't seem like he has another warrior, or he would have played a warrior. So maybe I just want to take less damage. It has a trick. Thankfully that does not give trample. It just gives +3/+2. I'm going to go to 9. I don't love it. I do like this art, though. It's just so angry. Alright, they kept top, which is also not great. And they played this as a land. Wow. That's kind of scary. Do I want to get rid of their last card, or are they anticipating? Because, like, this would be great. Maybe I'll just play out this Royal Mage. It doesn't do that much, though. This is a tough choice, tough choice. I think I will Mind Drain them. Because I get to mill their top card, which I just realized. So yeah, we get rid of a Seagate Colossus and an Ardent Electromancer. Now I could just play Royal Mage as a blocker. Because maybe I don't need the value that badly. Yeah, I think I'm okay with that. Just trade for something. Because I have 2 spells in my hand. It's a bit of a top deck war. We have some really good draws, though. Lull Mage's Domination. It's really the card I'm looking for right now. Okay, they just passed. We draw Island. It's not the card I was looking for. Do I hold it for Ruin Crab? And they're at 19 cards left in deck. I don't know if that matters that much. I think I'm just going to pass. So I can cast both of these still with just 6 lands. See, they play a Fisher Wizard. Lets them rummage, which is good. I presume this other card is a land. Oh, it was a spell land. Skyclave Carrick. I feel like this person has played before. They got a lot of good cards. So this gives target creature indestructible. This is Cleric, Wizard, Warrior, so they still only have 1. So I could just Deadly Alliance in response, or I could just Into the Royal in response. Seems fine too. Draw a card. Oh, Charix is great here. Now I do want this dead, because it can make Charix sort of unable to block, kind of. Although you can activate Charix in response. Charix will wall their board for a while, though. Now we have an anti-cognition for problematic creatures. I don't think I'm going to counter a 3/2. I just don't care. Sure. And that is getting countered. I don't even know what it does. You look at the top 6, you can reveal 2 of party types, put them into your hand. Yeah, that seemed problematic. I'm glad I countered that. So now their Vanguard can actually attack and make my Charix unable to block, but I'll at least be able to trade Royal Mage for it and then take 5. Which is fine. I do think taking the 1 extra damage is worth it, considering how annoying that card can be. Fortunately, I only draw land, so I'm just going to have to pass here. Flooding out a little bit after I scry 2 to the bottom, I'm pretty sure. Alright. Block the Electromancer and activate its ability, and then... Oh, that's why I needed to play a land here. That was kind of a bad... Because I need to play Charix and Deadly Alliance. Whoops. Okay, I will block here. And then kill this. Go to 3. Yeah, being able to eat a creature there is so important. That was a very bad play on my part, because now that they have another creature, I'm just very dead. Draw Malakir Rebirth. Yeah, that doesn't save us, unfortunately. Okay. Well, a slight misplay there. Not sure. We might have just died anyways to this. So, unfortunate. Charix tried his best. But we have one more shot at the trophy, one more bite at the apple here. Yeah, holding that land was not smart. I was still thinking that Deadly Alliance cost 4, but Sharks is a crab, not a party creature type, so should be a crab warrior. I feel like that would be more lore appropriate. I'm suing wizards. No, the same guy. There's really just no one else playing this ladder. And now our hand is way worse than last time. Sick, I love it. Should I mulligan this? Maybe. It's a little bit better. I'll keep this. What do I not want? Maybe I just don't want Malakir Rebirth. Kind of greedy, but I'm on the draw. And I want to be able to go Wind Robber into Cognition. I've never had this before where I have to play the same person twice. I guess this game is dead. Alright, he's got the Intimidator. We can get this Relic Golem online pretty fast, and it's a very good blocker. Although he can turn it into a coward with the Intimidator. Alright, he's gonna give it +1/+1. I'll take the 4. And I will counter this. Draw another one. Okay. Maybe I'll do that instead of Relic Goleming right away. Attack for 1 again. 3 cards now. Say go. So Duelist will get them to 5. Another Wind Robber to 6. The thing we counter to 7. So I'd really like to play Golem and be able to at least threaten to block with it right away. This Intimidator is kind of a problem, though. They shock themselves and then play an Angel Heart Protector pre-combat. I will counter it. I'm going to play a Sneaking Guide, sure. And presumably they're not going to attack here since they know we have Zulaport Duelist. I guess not. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to block and trade here. Very happy to get rid of this. Now I feel like we have a pretty good shot. Also, that puts them at 7. The Wind Robber will put them at 8. I can play the Relic Golem as a 6/6. Alternatively, I could actually just play Black Bloom Rogue. I don't know. A 6/6 seems better. So, then a 5/3. It is. We'll see what they got. But that last turn went really well for us. And now we know that their Emeria is on the board instead of, say, in their hand. Because that's one of the ways they could get back into this game. Unless they have 2, which would be pretty brutal. Oh, now we can Lull Mages the War Leader. Seems pretty good as well, actually. X equals 3. Take this. Gimme. Combat. Attack for 7. Just trying to put this game away before anything weird happens. This guy's pretty dope. Just a 4/5 trample, but he's also a land. Gotta respect it. Alright, they have Tazri, and I don't have an anti-cognition this time, but I think this might be too slow. We'll see. Our Ruin Crab, okay. Yeah, so I'm going to attack for 7. They're going to have to chump block the Relic Golem. Go to 6. And I'm going to play out the rest of my hand here. As a creature. Say go. So yeah, this costs in their deck 7 to activate, which is not a small amount. Skyclave Cleric. Sure. Guess they're like surviving for now. Maybe. Probably not once I Deadly Alliance the Tazri. Alright, I think we got our revenge. Nice. Alright, that was the good ending achieved. Played the same guy, mulliganed, and then just absolutely ran him out of town. Ran him over. Ran a train on him, perhaps? I don't know. I'm out of things to say that start with ran. But great deck. I think that deck really exemplified one of the strongest archetypes, the blue-black rogue deck. You just have good cards on rate, and then once you enable your 8 cards, which isn't that hard, that's the key. So many cards help you do that, and a lot of them are your best cards. All your cards become so powerful. I mean, just like control magic that costs 0 plus X is insane. The 2-mana counter anything. Scry, it doesn't counter anything, but you get what I'm saying. Anyways, thank you for watching this Zendikar Rising draft, and I will see you in the next one.